Have you ever stared into the ocean and wondered, how deep does it go? Most of our planet is covered by water, yet we've explored less than 5% of the ocean floor. What lies beneath the waves beyond the reach of sunlight is a world so alien it might as well be another planet. Pressure so crushing that a human would be flattened in seconds. Darkness so complete that light has never touched it. And yet, life exists there. Strange, glowing, resilient life. Today, we're diving figuratively into the deepest places on Earth and revealing the unbelievable creatures that call them home. Stay until the end, because the last place is so extreme that even our most advanced submarines barely survived visiting it. Before we descend, let's understand what deep really means. Scientists divide the ocean into zones, each with its own unique environment. The first 200 meters is the sunlight zone, or epipelagic zone. This is where most of the marine life you're familiar with lies. Dolphins and vibrant coral reefs thrive here, powered by the sun. Below that, from 200 to 1,000 meters, is the twilight zone, or a mesopelagic zone. Light here is dim and fades quickly, and the creatures, like those with massive, sensitive eyes, begin to look stranger. Descending further, we enter the midnight zone, the bathypelagic zone, stretching from 1,000 to 4,000 meters. Here, there is no light at all. It is a world of total darkness. Below this lies the abyssal zone, from 4,000 to 6,000 meters. The temperatures are near freezing, and the pressure is immense. Finally, anything deeper than 6,000 meters is the Hadal zone, named after Hades, the underworld. These depths are found only in deep ocean trenches. At these depths, pressure increases by 1 atmosphere every 10 meters. That means at 10,000 meters deep, the pressure is over 1,000 times what we feel at sea level, and still life thrives. Our first destination is the most famous abyss of all, the Mariana Trench, located in the western Pacific Ocean. This colossal canyon is over 36,000 feet deep. That's nearly 11 kilometers deeper than Mount Everest is tall. Nestled inside this trench is the Challenger Deep, the single deepest known point on our planet. If you were to drop Mount Everest into the trench, its summit would still be submerged under more than a mile of water. The pressure at this depth is over 8 tons per square inch, a force equivalent to having 50 jumbo jets stacked on top of you. Despite these impossible conditions, life endures. Scientists have discovered thriving populations of amphipods, small, shrimp-like crustaceans with translucent bodies perfectly adapted to the crushing forces. Even more astonishing is the discovery of microbes that survive not on sunlight, but on chemicals seeping from the seafloor process known as Q. In 2019, explorer Victor Vesovo became the first person to reach the Challenger Deep multiple times. His submersible found not just life, but also plastic waste. A sobering reminder that even the most remote place on Earth is not immune to human impact. Next up, the Puerto Rico Trench, the deepest part of the Atlantic Ocean, plunging over 8,000 meters into the Earth's crust. This massive trench lies just north of Puerto Rico and is a hotbed of geological activity responsible for some of the region's most powerful earthquakes. It's a crack in our planet, a volatile boundary where two tectonic plates grind against each other. Down in its cold, dark waters, the pressure is crushing, but life has found ways to adapt. Scientific expeditions have detected giant amphipods, ghostly sea cucumbers, and mysterious deep sea. Researchers have also recorded eerie, unidentifiable sounds echoing from the abyssal frequency groans and clicks that could possibly come from unknown creatures. Imagine floating in absolute pitch-black water, surrounded by a silence that is only broken by the deep, ominous groan of the shifting earth far beneath you. In the South Pacific, we find the Tonga Trench, an abyss nearly as deep as the Mariana, reaching around 10,800 meters. Temperatures here hover near freezing. Yet this icy world is punctuated by hydrothermal vents, pouring out scorching metal-rich fluids. The result is a surreal landscape where intense heat and freezing cold coexist, and against all odds, life still finds a way to flourish. In 2017, researchers managed to capture footage of a snailfish living at an incredible depth of 8,200 meters, deeper than any other vertebrate has ever been found. Its body is almost transparent with new scales, and its bones are soft and cartilaginous radical adaptations that allow it to withstand the extreme pressure. Scientists have nicknamed it the world's most pressure-tolerant animal. It appears fragile, almost ethereal, but it is a master survivor in one of the harshest environments on our planet. Also known as the Sunda Trench, the Java Trench runs parallel to the coast of Indonesia. It reaches depths of nearly 7,500 meters and is a place of both profound beauty and immense danger. This trench is a critical part of the Ring of Fire, one of the most geologically active zones on Earth. The immense tectonic forces at play here frequently trigger powerful earthquakes and devastating tsunamis. Despite this volatility, life clings stubbornly to the slopes of hydrothermal vents, chimney-like structures that spew superheated water and minerals from deep within the Earth. These vents create oases of life, supporting bizarre ecosystems of tube worms, crabs, and bacteria that survive entirely without sunlight. Their energy source is chemical, primarily hydrogen sulfide gas, that is highly toxic to us, but for them, it is the very essence of life. It's a powerful reminder that life doesn't strictly need sunlight, it needs energy, and it always finds a source. Stretching between Japan and Russia, the Kuril-Kamchatka Trench plunges to a depth of nearly 10,500 meters. Here, the seafloor is in a constant state of flux, constantly being reshaped by violent tectonic shifts. It is one of the most geologically dynamic places on the planet. Robotic expeditions have sent back images of strange gelatinous creatures drifting through the total darkness like translucent blobs suspended in time. Some are believed to be entirely new species of jellyfish or comb jellies. The pressure here is so intense that water begins to behave differently, almost like a thick, viscous fluid. While scientists sometimes refer to this region as the Black Desert due to its perceived emptiness, even deserts hold their own secrets. Just to the east of the Philippines, another great abyss lurks. The Philippine Trench, which is also around 10,500 meters deep. Locals have long called it the Mindanao Deep, a name that hints at its profound and mysterious nature. Very few expeditions have dared to explore its depths, but sonar scans have revealed a dramatic underwater landscape of vast canyons and towering ridges, like an entire mountain range turned upside down. Incredibly, microbes discovered in sediment from this trench have been found to be capable of digesting oil and other toxic waste. Scientists believe these specialized organisms could hold the key to developing new methods for cleaning up pollution on the surface. In a fascinating twist, the darkest, most hidden parts of our Earth might harbor the solutions for a brighter future. Let's leave the tropics and head far north to the Malloy Deep, the deepest point of the Arctic Ocean. Located in the strait between Greenland and Norway, it reaches a depth of about 5,500 meters. The water temperatures are near freezing, and the surface is often covered by thick sheets of ice. Yet, life persists, fed by a constant, gentle rain of marine snow, tiny organic particles that drift down from the waters above, providing sustenance for the few creatures that can survive here. Among them are sluggish sea cucumbers, delicate brittle stars, and tiny worms that burrow into the muddy seafloor. Exploring this region is exceptionally difficult due to the formidable ice sheets covering the surface for much of the year. This makes the Malloy Deep one of the least visited places on Earth and, possibly, one of the last truly untouched ecosystems we have left. Near New Zealand, the Kermadec Trench slices through the Pacific seafloor, reaching depths of over 10,000 meters. It is part of a vast system of trenches that form a gigantic, interconnected scar across the ocean floor. In 2015, scientists sent cameras down into its crushing depths and recorded something incredible. Gigantic 10 times larger than their shallow water relatives, swimming with surprising agility. Imagine shrimp the size of your forearm. They also observed transparent sea cucumbers gliding like ghosts over the barren seafloor. Many of these unique creatures survive by feeding on the faint, continuous rain of organic material falling from the world above the marine snow. Down here, there is no sunlight, no plants, and barely any oxygen, yet life continues. Patient, persistent, and beautifully adapted. We've traveled around the planet from the tropics to the Arctic, but nothing compares to returning to the Challenger Deep. It is the ultimate abyss, the deepest single point on Earth. At a staggering 10,935 meters, only a handful of humans have ever been there. The very first were Jacques Piccard and Don Walsh in 1960. They descended in the bathyscaphe of Trieste and described seeing a milky seafloor and strange movements they thought might be a fish. More than half a century later, filmmaker James Cameron made a solo dive, describing the environment as a lunar landscape, silent and desolate. But even there, in that ultimate void, life flickers. Tiny organisms, known as foraminophora, cling to rocks, feeding on minerals, having lived untouched by sunlight for millions of years. If you could stand there, though, you never could. You would be in a place darker than night, older than time, and quieter than space. The deeper we go, the more we realize how little we know. The ocean's greatest depths are home to creatures that defy biology, pressure, and even our own imagination. We build rockets and peer into the farthest reaches of the cosmos to explore the stars, but the greatest alien world might be right here beneath our feet, hidden under miles of water. Who knows what else hides in the darkness? Ancient life forms, unknown species, or entire ecosystems just waiting to be discovered. One thing's for sure, Earth's final frontier isn't outer space. It's the deep,